A minion's gonna get him there. But did not work. It actually saved Garish's life. So now, guys, the next map is chosen by Team Ukraine. Where do you think they would like to go?
Braxis.
Braxis? We've already had the mines being taken. What about you, Kendrick?
Team fights looked good. The laning phase, not so much. But I think we're going to see a Cursed Hollow game, just standard neutral.
And Cursed Hollow it is, Kendrick. We are heading over to the Raven Lord. And yeah, we're going to be a little bit more standard. Ukraine, that was sort of standard last time, and it works out relatively well for them.
And they had moments of brilliance there, really. Yeah. The Chromie, for example, with that Time Walker's Pursuit, scouting out the Samuro over and over again. The Medivacs, though, in the end, proved too tricky of an heroic ability to always really lead where it's so.
Yes, they were quite tricky plays indeed. But guys, remember, you can keep voting for which team you think is going to win this series using the codes at the bottom of your screen in the chat. For example, for Team Ukraine, you can type in #UAWin. But if you think Portugal are going to close out the series, you could use the code #PTWin as we are heading into the draft for game number 2.
All right. Are we going to see yet another tricky pick for Team Portugal? The Samura surprised a lot of people, but in the end, it worked out like a charm. What else do you think they have up their sleeves?
Actually, I think Holotype, I think he was a bit nervous because he was very comfortable, but then he died once, and then he looked very uncomfortable, and then they got back on track, they stabilized, they hit that level 16, and suddenly he's the best Samura I've ever seen. He was making play after play. So I think Holotype, it depends how he's feeling. If he says, guys, I'm feeling good, give me one of my heroes, then I think we'll see him.
And it's going to be interesting to see whether the Samuro is going to work twice in a row, maybe even. I mean, it's not... Okay, Abathur, I was going to mention him. Abathur, super impactful hero in Cursed Hollow. We've seen it times and times again. However, the greatest weakness of an Abathur could be the global pushing. So let's see what they're going to have in store.
So like you said, Samuro, there is a chance of this. He can get very good global potential. He is basically a global hero.
He could.
You have that Illusion Master. So the potential for that again. Other global heroes, we've seen several teams using the Vikings to mixed success throughout it. And then, of course, ETC, Brightwing, Dahaka already banned out. So there are options in terms of
And guess who else still exists? Falstead.
Yes, Falstead. I like the fact you say still exists. We did see him once in this tournament.
It didn't go so well for him, though, unfortunately. But Falstead is a hero that has traditionally been very strong on Cursed Hollow. The amount of boss control he offers with the Mighty Gust. The laning is not too shabby either, especially if you place him against the Dahaka. Being a ranged hero, he can actually bully him unexpectedly well.
He actually benefits from a longer laning phase due to the fact Seasoned Marksman is the go-to talent for a Falstead. So, Tracer, this has usually led into... Tracer? That is... Yeah, Tracer is what I was going for. That was the right sentence. Thank you, Brain. Tassadar usually leading into a Tracer in a lot of the drafts we have seen. So the immediate reaction pick, Ukraine bringing out the Genji.
Yeah, absolutely. So Tassadar, very standard by this point. If you ban the Abathur, you can expect to see the Tassadar on the other side. Of course, it does allow for hyper carries traditionally from the Veins throw, but with Holotype, he's lurking around. You know, he's got his heroes. I'd like to see if the Tassadar's for a melee hero this time around.
Yeah, there's many options. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, potentially, we have seen one Illidan in this tournament so far.
It looked good, though.
It was uncursed, and it did look good, yeah.
It was against an Ariel, to be fair, and that Ariel did die repeatedly.
I mean, Illidan is still not the worst choice against a Rhaegar, too. Rhaegar oftentimes finds himself very much in the front line because of the short range of his abilities.
He can't self-cleanse, he can't self-ancestral, so he is actually very vulnerable to those hard engage styles.
Especially if he's played as a solo support. I really think that Illidan could be the choice, the weapon of choice here to really punish those speedy support plays. Well, with an Illidan, it's still not out of the possibility.
They are showing something. They are leaving themselves open, though, which is the great thing about this. Picking the Uther or the ETC now, they can pick the Tracer or maybe just a Valor. They've left themselves very open for what their last pick is. So Ukraine, they have to just pick one and ban it.
So whenever you are fine with, say, okay, we're fine with Tracer or Valor, for example. You need a third backup option in case they deny, but if they ban the one, you have no issues going to the other.
Yeah. So there's Tracer, Valor, Illidan, there are several other auto-attackers, even the Zul'jin, which we are desperate to see. Someone, please. But for now, it has not shown up. There is the Valor stolen away, Team Ukraine. Very sensible drafting style.
Now this is what I was talking about. They banned one, they picked the other. So what's the third hero that Portugal wanted? This whole tournament, I've been hoping for a Zul'jin. And Portugal, please, please, be the ones, Portugal.
There are other options. We have seen, for example, Greymane be still available. Cassia has been picked several times. Ariel makes it in, and what did we say the Illidan was against that it performed quite well on?
It was the Ariel.
Against the Ariel on Tim.
I still want to bring up the Cassia again, though. It has been the weapon of choice for many teams when they face a heavy physical damage combo because she has that physical armor ready as long as she keeps on moving, and she also has the blinds. That's the most important thing.
So Bakery, the last pick for Ukraine has to be a tank. If Portugal was to pick the Illidan, is Arthas a fine solo tank for Team Ukraine here?
Absolutely, I think it is. He always is going to have the issue of he doesn't initiate well. But when you have Valor, Oriol, Veigar, Genji, you don't need to initiate. They need to initiate onto you so he can be standing in that front line, he can get Cleanse, he can get Ancestral, get Aegis if he really needs it. And definitely survive Illidan. Locked in for Portugal.
And Greymane. So everything here works with this Uther Tassadar style. So, Team Ukraine, they have one tank choice, and it is very much between sort of Arthas or maybe something else, and it is going to be Arthas that is picked.
And I think Genji in particular is going to have a really hard time trying to find someone he can burst down. If you take a look at Team Portugal here, not only do they have double support, but Uther gives armor. ETC is going to get armor himself, and even Greymane, once he's in Worgen form, he innately has a little bit of armor, and Illidan, of course, has multiple tools available to stay safe. I think this is going to be a really rough game for Genji, especially if you add the fact that Bakery said Arthas is not your classic playmaker, your big engager with a nice leap or a power slide.
Yeah.
I think Portugal's got a nice draft here.
What would be your thoughts about a potential X-Strike to maybe give that Genji a little bit more sustained power?
Wouldn't hate it.
Wouldn't hate it? Bakery?
No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm definitely not gonna. I'm sorry, I can't recommend X-Strike. I think Dragon Blade is too valuable a tool. If anyone gets low, you pop the Dragon Blade, you go in.
But who's gonna get low in the first place?
I mean, it is only Uther, come on. Uther not known for his sustain healing.
But he's a good burst healer against Genji.
He is.
Yeah, which, to be fair, also counters X-Strike, due to X-Strike being burst damage. So, some issues with picking that. So, guys, final choices. Who do you think is going to take this one?
This is a tricky one. I really do not like the Genji setup here. I really think there's not enough synergy with the Arthas in the mix as well. I'm going to go with Portugal.
I believe in Holotype. He's impressed me so far in the tournament. I think he'll impress me again. Portugal is my vote.
I quite like the Arthas, honestly, but you guys agree. But I agree with you guys that potentially Genji might have difficulties. I am also going for Portugal, but let's see if Ukraine can survive us as we are heading into game number 2. And Bakery, who's playing for Team Ukraine?
In Ukraine, you have Deodark playing the Veigar going top lane. You have Fan on the Arthas, Valorant on the Genji, and in the bot lane you have Valor, played by Candle, and Oriol, played by No Pain, looking for team.
And on the right-hand side, it is Team Portugal with Caps on Tassadar, Holotype. He's playing the Illidan. We're excited. It's Zabina back on that ETC. And in the top lane, it is going to be Godstorm on Uther, finally potentially living up to his name, and Psyche is playing the Greymane. And as much as I say potentially living up to his name, Divine Shield Illidan or Divine Shield Greymane is quite good, and also Holy Cow, so potentially not.
But at the same time, you do have to look at the talents chosen so far, and a possible Q build coming out from Uther, which could definitely indicate Divine Storm.
We actually saw great use of that Q build in the UK game, but to be fair, he was nano boosted, so that potentially doesn't count, as Godstorm and Psyche will be able to take down this first tower.
So the Ukraine opting for a fairly standard setup.
Not aggressive much?
Hey, he is aggressive. He takes a lot of damage and does not get too much in return when you consider that Uther will be able to heal himself with both of his abilities and, of course, get low.
So this is actually, I believe, the strategy, from what I can tell, to just ignore Greymane and focus Uther in this top lane, due to the fact that Uther does heal himself, but it means if he is only healing himself, he's losing value. There's no point to heal Greymane if he's full. So Greymane, you saw him actually tanking a couple tower hits there, so giving Uther a bit more value.
Yeah, now, I am worried for Portugal. Their ideal laning setup would have been the other way round. Tassadar, Illidan in the top lane would, of course, been almost untouchable, and Uther Greymane would, of course, be able to rival the Oriole Valor. But when you swap those lanes round, Tassadar Illidan gets absolutely smashed.
Yep, and Tassadar is having to defend this alone as Holotype has to piece out back to base to get some help.
Yeah, he's probably going to start the easy camp when he is back from base as well. So probably opting to give up the towers and hopefully get a trade in the top lane.
Root lands, but solid armor onto Psyche, but it's not enough. Valvox able to pick up the kill there. Goldstorm being forced back. But like you said, both teams beginning to make their begin work on their easy camps.
Now, most likely a miscommunication here. Arthas was, of course, laning in the mid lane against ETC, and the top lane did not play like he was missing, which did result in their death.
So we have Heavy Burden coming in for Ariel. And now Candle also dying, so Heavy Burden not helping him out there. Genji having to drop a deflect. Does he have Swift Strike? He might have to use it if he does. Getting focused. Calls out, please. He gets out. Cap's not able to drop the last second stall.
And I believe that was 10 HP, or at least around there. Insane. One more tick of Pascal also would have been enough to secure the kill.
Exactly, it was definitely double figures, potentially even single, as we do see Ave, like you said, a holy shock coming out for Uther here.
Yep, I mean, they are so far struggling in this game with sustain. Both lanes have been sitting relatively low as they go in for the fight.
Sabino, a beautiful power slide onto the Candle face, while Deodar gets focused and taken out. Portugal with the first kill, but Valmax is in the backline, killing off ETC. It's kills for kills being traded as Rhaegar goes down. Ariel is dropping great healing numbers, but she is also going to drop as Psyche is now under serious duress. Good stun by Uther. It's not enough. There's the reset. Goldstorm being focused. It's 2v1 now. Holotype trying to focus Fran. Fran doesn't have enough mana to get the attack speed slow, and he will go down. It's 1v1. The Uther Ghost healing Holotype back to full.
An absolutely insane fight there that starts because Arthas was not in position in time to peel for the Veigar and the Valor. As soon as he showed up, the Genji and the Arthas started doing work.
This fight went so long that the other players are back as Sabina returns to join us. I'm reminded of alpha level fights with this, as we do see Candle trying to channel, but Caps with the denial with that extra range from level 7.
And we're going to have round 2 of the fight coming in as all 5 members of both teams have arrived back in the top lane.
Illidan regens off of the minions and mercenaries, also clearing those siege caps in the process. Good start, and there's the kill on Valor, and that might be what Portugal need as they begin to snowball through this.
Absolutely. Valor too far forward, cleanse not in time, and Oriole did not have energy. Portugal taking the first fight of the game.
Very nicely done. It was a very long fight, but it did certainly get the job done as the first tribute goes over to Portugal, and Holotype immediately back to his job of mercenaries. Very good chance he is taking the hunt, by the way, with his immolation at level 1.
Now, when I'm looking at Portugal's team comp, the first thing that comes to mind is how much better it gets when they have ultimates. But when I'm looking at Ukraine, I'm thinking the exact same thing. Ancestral Healing and Crystal Aegis are absolutely crucial to the way that Valor wants to play this game.
Rain of Vengeance to deny the mosh pit potentially, of course. You were talking about it. The Dragon Blade is mental here, and Army of the Dead really is what makes Arthas a viable solo tank. We do see the retreat, top 4, taking some damage. Valdax is coming up here to deal with it. He will get holy shots. If that Radiance had hit him, he might have died.
I was getting flashbacks to the mid-season bull there when I believe it was someone from China. Ooh, who would it have been? Do you remember Tiger? I think Tiger from E-Star playing the Uther actually soloed some.
Oh, he did! Yes, I remember that. That was awesome. That was awesome. It was on Warhead, right?
Yeah, it was
on Warhead. That was great. As Godstorm is continuing to poke down Deodark here, trying to gain control of this second tribute of the game. And then moving in, Ariel is going to be the slowest to arrive here.
Now the key distinction is Arthas is already here. It's going to make it tough for the Illidan, but Veigar's running away from the Arthas. Huge miscommunication means he does end up going down. Illidan, they cannot chase into this Arthas though.
Yeah, but they are still able to potentially zone him as we see more Holy Shocks. Beautiful stuff preventing the cyber agility, and Genji goes down.
Valamax the key to the earlier fight, but this time getting stunned out far too quickly and just instantly going down before he can get out of there.
Yeah, he tried to jump away with Cyber Agility, but Uther shunted him back down with that Hammer of Justice. Now, heroics are available. It is Divine Shield, just too good with some of these heroes. It is the Hunt and Stage Dive here, so double global potential from Team Portugal.
I am really glad we do see this Stage Dive coming out. I was scared we might get baited into a mosh pit because there are low amounts of interrupts on the enemy team, but I think Stage Dive is going to be absolutely crucial for making it past the Arthas.
I will agree with you. Stage Dive and the Hunt together, the huge focus. The Beta does survive to Stage Dive another day from that Genji, and both bosses are taken. Difference is, top fort is dead, and bot fort is very healthy and has a wall in front of it.
I would absolutely love to see Portugal stick around in this mid lane, take the wall, and then go straight for the top lane. This can 100% be a keep.
They're going
Ukraine are level 10 though, so this is their opportunity for a comeback fight.
They're going for the Siege Giants too, so this is going to be a crazy push here coming in from Portugal. They have everyone here with them. Siege Giants finally completed a little bit late. They could have maybe done this quicker. Pokes coming in, cocktails and holy shocks onto Candle. In the meantime, Genji will get the tribute.
Securing the non-curse. Portugal playing a bit passive for my liking. They need to go in further if they do want to secure this keep.
The heavy burden, the slow onto Zabina after the Detainment Strike. Kind of negating a little bit of his engage potential after that. Because of that, and because of the low health of the boss, we are going to see Portugal backing up. But a half health keep is still better than a defended keep.
Definitely played too passive if they wanted to secure the keep, but at the same time they did not give Ukraine the opportunity for the comeback fight with they so desperately wanted. Velamax gets caught out on the Genji. What happened to the Swiss right, Tetcher?
He used it to try and get that far away to begin with, but guess what? Guess who's good at chasing? It is Illidan, and was able to chase him down. So we see Portugal, once again, in a solid control of this game. Ukraine, very much on the defense here, having to clean up top lane.
Now, the Ukraine have to be very worried. When that boss comes back up in maybe 3.5 minutes time, it could be potentially just the end of the game. That keep is so low. And when you have heroes like Tassadar, Grimmin, and Illidan hitting a core, the game can end very quickly.
Indeed, the only way it could be worse is if there was an Abathur to clone one of them, but instead we get that crazy double all-in potential. Even ETC can join them if he really wanted to with that Stage Dive. Now, we see Syke getting rooted. If he goes down, it could be bad, but the armor he gets from Uther, keeping him alive. Here's the Stage Dive. Trying to focus Arthas, but Arthas is a little bit too tanky. But in the meantime, Candle gets taken out, and that's the main damage as Genji is trying to take up the slack with the Dragon Blade, but he goes down.
So much value from the Dragon Blade, but not enough. Uther dies, but that's fine. He can keep healing. Holotype staying in. Arthur's getting a huge amount of value with his attack speed slow. No pain goes down, and that's the end of the team fight. Tassadar making sure Veigar cannot get capped the tribute. This is going to be Curse of Portugal, and what can they do with it?
Ancestral was used on Fran, and that will save. Actually, it won't. He's out of mana. He's running out of places to go. Oh, cocktail! Cocktail! Oh my god, he gets
the cocktail and completes the quest. What a way. Illidan just going too deep, not expecting the balance to respawn, because it is so early in the game still, Tatcha.
Illidan, the original Genji, I need healing, as he is taken out, and that's bad news. And Ukraine punishing the aggression of Portugal. You were wondering what Portugal could get from this curse. The answer is, who can they not lose?
Not ETC, because he's going down as well.
ETC down, it's just Uther and Tassadar left to push anything. Ariel is cleaning up top lane, preventing it from pushing in, while everyone else clears up the mid. Well, that turned from a really good situation for Portugal into kind of a disaster.
That is one of the worst uses of Curse I have seen in this tournament, unfortunately. Just too overzealous in the mid lane, wanting the kill more than they wanted to get value from the Curse, it seemed.
Exactly, and it's turned out rough. On the bright side, though, they do have globals, remember. They have Stage Dive, and they potentially have the Hunt. Stage Dive from ETC to rejoin as he just comes back to life now. And Hunt, not fully global, but it's very close.
Definitely a pseudo-global. Portugal, though, they are still ahead, a full level or more.
Yep.
And they are way ahead in structures, so this is still their game to lose. But the Ukraine, they've got to have hope now.
They have hope, they have everyone alive, they have their heroics, and, well, they have Ariel, who is the hopiest character in this game. So we do see Fran getting poked down a little bit continuously by Godstorm, who has once again gone for the library build and picked every possible book. Just, it's very solid for the poke potential. Holotype with the split push here. Zabina in position to punish anyone who tries to stop him. And this keep is under pressure, Bakery.
They have 16, and that means double storm from Tassadar, which is absolute terror when sieging down this keep. Expect to see them sit around and not be too aggressive and just let the Tassadar do the work.
Yeah, they do have the option of Holy Shot can actually damage buildings, so they could use that as well, but Uther doesn't want to risk being so far forward. Illidan has found Genji, but also 2 other members, and decided to back it up.
Tassadar storms keep going down, and they need one more. Oil goes down.
They get it. Dragon Blade is procs to try and attempt the counter kill, but a Divine Shield into the stage dive, and they've already killed 2 members. Can they get more as Fran is focused down? Godstorm heals Holotype, and as such himself, keeping himself alive. Candle's now in serious danger, but he's moving under a keep, which means Holotype can't follow him.
The big question is, can they call? They have Illidan, they have Tassadar, they have Greymane. If they can, this is the setup you want. They're going in. Shield's almost already down. Illidan full HP.
Candle gets that stage, but it was only like 500 hit points. Down goes Rhaegar. Candle is alone here, trying to defend against all 5 members of Team Portugal. But Bakery, they can't do it. Portugal are going to end out the game and the series here with a clean 2-0.
Impressive stuff. Impressive stuff from Holotype, apart from when he went a bit too far in the mid lane, but the whole of the Portugal team, everyone coming together as a unit and showing why there were players, professional players almost, on Twitter saying, I want to see that Portuguese team play Open Division. I want to see more of them.
Exactly. I really want to see more of them. Whether they stay together or whether they split up into individual Open Division teams, I know I will be looking on whatever system we use for the Open Division for that Portuguese flag.
What a show! What a performance here by the Portuguese team, and it shows how strong an Illidan can be. We were very optimistic, very confident during the draft, and it seems like we're rightfully so.
Yes, we were, and like you said, the Illidan was very solid, once, as you said, except for that one
that one misstep.
Very good play by Valor as well, but big props to the supports. Uther keeping him alive and keeping himself alive while doing poke damage, was very solid Uther play. What do you have to show us?
And I'm going to talk about the exact same thing. Uther, so much value in one game. It was crazy. He went for the full Q build, full Shockaden mode. Look at Godstorm here. This first tribute fight took ages. I think it lasted over 3 minutes as a whole. But here, we see the engage coming in. Zabina going deep in the backline. In the meantime, Deodark on that Rhaegar. He has nothing to really escape the onslaught of Greymane and Illidan. Holotype, he's not done just yet. But in the meantime, this battlefield was spread out so far, ETC ended up dying as well. Candle now, he's the next target, falls victim. And now it looks really good for Team Portugal, but look at Ukraine. They're not done just yet. The strong healing still by No Pain. So much focus on the Ariel. In the meantime, everyone else is dropping low. The slows by Friends, so good. Valamex, hyper mobile Genji, he gets another one. Wait for the Swift Strike, wait for the Cyber Agility, there it goes, and he gets resets galore. But now, Holotype on the Illidan, completely untouched. Uther in his Holy Ghost continues to heal, and it is Illidan, the Debt Collector, that is going to annihilate what's left of the Ukrainian team.
And this is something that we brought up at the start of the game, was Arthur's finds a solo attack. And yes, when he had mana, that was something that we haven't seen from Arthur as a problem in most of the other games, but at this time, he was consistently out of mana due to the length of some of those fights.
When a tribute fight goes 3 minutes, we can't really blame him for being out of mana because he needed his Frozen Tempest quite a bit.
But once it's gone, Illidan has free reign. What else you got for us?
Once again, watch Godstorm on that Uther. He was an absolute menace. Going full Q, he's going to have huge range, constantly boop, boop, poking Deodark here when he wanted to channel the tribute. And this actually means the end once again. So much engage power. ETC and Illidan on the same page, and it all spirals out of control here against Ukraine. Without one of their main supports, there's not really much they can do anymore. So once again, we see the value from Uther. Now, they're not done just yet. They realize, hey, maybe we can still do something, right? I'm Genji, I can survive. Nope, denied by the hammer of justice. Uther single-handedly won that teamfight. Constant harass, really good interrupt on the Genji escape, and all of a sudden, it was another Portuguese tribute.
Yeah, once again, Godstorm continues to impress. And despite what I assume is one more replay, it's going to be sad to say goodbye to him in this tournament because once again, Portugal did not go through. But what have you got for us?
All right. Last but not least, we have a chase that went on a little bit, and it ended very sadly for that Arthas. We're going to take a look here. Fran, outnumbered, outgunned, and outmanned. But it seems good for a moment here because the fort is slowing people down. Illidan is kind of slowed now as well, running out of juice. But here comes Psych, waiting for the perfect moment. And with a Ganil cocktail, stirred or shaken, that was the end of Arthas. Pretty cool move there, but then it was almost already over because Portugal had established such a dominant lead.
Yes, they had very nicely done. But once again, big congratulations to both our teams for performing so well in this tournament. Neither one of these will be going through, but we really enjoyed casting you, really enjoyed watching you. So commiserations to Ukraine and Team Portugal. Now let's take one more final look at the groups so you can see how things played out over this last week. From Group A, moving on to the playoffs, it is going to be France and Italy. In Group B, Germany and Hungary. Group C, Poland and the Netherlands. And in Group D, it's going to be Sweden and Russia. Solid performances from all of these teams. Who is standing out for you?
Honestly, Germany. Just because I never expected Germany to make it out of the group, let alone go 3-0 and be first seed, right up there with names like Sweden, Poland, and France.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the German team because they surprised a lot of people with their unconventional playstyle. Pocket picks like a Jaina. We've never seen her before in this tournament. Yeah. Only Nunia pulled her out, but I want to highlight Poland. They once again showed us masterclass Heroes of the Storm today. They completely dismantled every single team they faced. They are definitely the strongest favorite in this tournament.
Well, let's see who potentially drew the short straw and has to play against Poland as we will reveal to you guys the matchups for the playoffs that will be happening next Saturday. Italy is going to be playing against Germany in the quarterfinals. Sweden has to play against the Netherlands. We will then have Poland versus Russia. That's a crazy matchup. And finally, France versus Hungary to finish up the bracket.
Reminds me a little bit of football here, the first one. Germany versus Italy. That's a classic for sure.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see what Germany is going to pull out because I really want to know how long can they continue this style of just defying the odds? How long will they get away with it?
Well, you can see the bracket here. They could get away with it potentially for the first match, but after that, they have Poland or Russia, the teams that people seem to be touted to win. As you just mentioned, Poland as one of the most dominant teams in this tournament.
And we spoke earlier, the Sweden-Russia match, it could be deciding who plays against Poland. And unfortunately, it has. That's going to be one hell of a quarterfinals matchup.
Yeah. Sweden are going to be breathing a sigh of relief. The Netherlands, though, still not an easy match, so they will have to be very careful with that. And now, guys, remember, you can join us back for those matchups starting on the 25th of November. That is a Saturday, so you have no excuse to avoid it by saying, oh, I've got work. No, you have Heroes of the Storm to watch, and if you do have work, you can call in sick and prepare to watch the Nexus Games Europe. So, guys, we've already mentioned some of the matches. Which ones are you most excited for?
I'm looking forward to the Germany team simply because I'm from Germany, but I really want to see the Netherlands. I really want to see them against Sweden. I think there is so much raw potential there on both sides, and the Netherlands, I want them to get as far as possible in this tournament.
Bakery, we've lost Team UK. Who are we adopting as our new Team UK?
Poland.
Yes,
it's
agreed.
Definitely Poland. I love watching that.
Team Poland is now the new Team UK for at least the two casters from Britain. But, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you have enjoyed watching the Nexus Games Europe group stage. Once again, we are not done. We will be back on the 25th of November, a Saturday, so you can join us back for the bracket-based stage. Thank you all very much for watching. I have been Tedsha, and from Bakery and Kendrick Swish, thank you all very much for watching, and we will see you all on Saturday the 25th.